Now I'm ready to begin. Welcome again to the presentation this afternoon, which we're talking about 10 new vacancies that I'm recruiting for over the coming months. As you can see on the screen, I'm looking for 10 new area managers for a leading beauty brand. Now, in terms of the brand, a little bit about me. I know some of you who are in the real work with you previously, but just to give you a bit of an overview really of our business and what I personally do. So my name is Matt Goddard. I'm the owner and director of Rembo Consultancy. Now, Rembo Consultancy recruits exclusively in the fashion, beauty and luxury brand markets across specialist niche divisions. And we're all about bringing the best talent to the best companies, and we do that in very innovative ways. One of those being webinars. So that's one of our tools that we use to attract potential job seekers to our clients, and we tend to focus on finding people who perhaps wouldn't necessarily be on the jobs boards or looking for something new, but may be open to hearing about something. That's a little bit about us. Our beauty division recruits across the board, from the consultants out on the shop floor, makeup artists, therapists, right up to the more senior management positions. So, I guess most of you have arrived today and you've registered, wondering what's going on, what's all this about in terms of the new vacancies that we have. And I guess most of you are either actively looking for something new in 2015, or you're just keeping your options open. So we work with leading brands, with both nationally recognised brands, global brands, as well as more niche brands that are perhaps growing. And over the course of the year, we're actually hoping to add new clients to our portfolio. I've got some meetings taking place over the coming weeks with brands that you might not have heard of, but are going to be making some big waves in 2015. But the brand that we're recruiting for the 10 new area manager roles for is this company, who I'm sure you have heard of. Benefit Cosmetics are a leading brand, as I'm sure you know, a leading global brand in terms of the beauty industry, very makeup led, and they have a number of counters right across the UK. I put some images here, and there's an image here of a dog. That dog is Harvey. Now, Harvey is often featured in some of Benefit's advertising and some of the social stuff they kind of do. He actually is, I believe, the managing director's dog, and he's often wandering around the head office. I've been there a couple of times, and he's there greeting people as they walk in. He's often in meetings and things. So he's a permanent fixture, if you like, at the head office. And the reason that I put that there is because it gives you a bit of an idea of the culture, perhaps, that Benefit adopt and the environment that they adopt. They're not your typical cosmetics brand. They're very different. They're very fun and quite quirky. And I think that is reflected with how they kind of feature Harvey in a lot of their advertising stuff. So that's a little bit about that. So some key information for you really. Benefit have 3,000 plus counters across the world, and they trade in 35 different global markets. They were founded back in 1976 by Jean and Jane Ford, who were twin sisters. They were models and makeup artists. They are part of the Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton group, which is obviously a massive group in terms of luxury brands, and they operate currently and this is growing, hence the vacancies that we're currently recruiting for. 470 doors in the UK and Ireland, and that the lifeblood of those doors are the department store groups they work with, but they also do have some standalone stores as well, some boutiques, and they employ about 2,000 people in the UK and Ireland. So the position that we're recruiting for, so it's 10 area managers is what we're looking for across the UK, and they're looking at the entire country. They've got new stores opening up across the UK, all across the country, which essentially means they're happy to create roles for the right candidates. For them, it's about finding the right people that are going to fit their brand and fit the role perfectly, and they'll make it work in terms of the geography. They're looking, so the actual role itself, we build it as an area manager role, which is what it actually is. But Benefit call it a sales development manager. The role encompasses 10 to 12 counters across the patch, and that's about 45 to 60 people. You'll find that in some of the bigger cities you'll have a big counter that has the makeup products on there, it's got the brow bars, the waxing treatments, and we'll have a lot more people working on that particular counter. You'll find in some of the smaller markets that the teams are a lot smaller, which is why it's about 45 to 60, depending on the area that you would take on, and if you have a lot of flagship stores, that might be closer to the 60 people mark. Benefit is a very hands-on brand, and the area manager position is a hands-on role. It's about leading by example on a day-to-day basis. So your typical day would be spending your time on the shop floor as much as possible. So a lot of area roles that I recruit, a lot of the role is really spent developing the relationship between the area manager and the manager. You don't really get to grips with a lot of the team. You're not on the shop floor much. Benefit is the opposite of that, really. It's about being on the shop floor a lot of the time. So your typical day would be you'll base yourself in one store for the entire day. So you'll do one store visit a day. During that time, you're going to be working with your team, essentially working with them, performing the beauty consultant role. So you have to be on the shop floor, you'll be out there with them, traffic stopping customers, demonstrating how it's done, best practice, observing what they're doing, but coming and actually showing them maybe a different way of actually doing something. So it is about working closely with the team, selling, and working with the customers, actually doing makeovers on customers, demonstrating products. So you have to be comfortable and confident with doing everything that you're asking the beauty consultants to do on a day-to-day basis. Because of this, the role requires bags of energy and enthusiasm. It really does. It requires you to be, really being that ambassador, being motivational, cheering the girls up, making sure, that being that kind of motivator really on a day-to-day basis. It requires that. So lots of energy, lots of enthusiasm and passion. So we don't need people that have worked in beauty before. Benefit is not what you might regard as sort of makeup artistry brand. The products are really easy to use. So because of this, you don't need to have worked as a makeup artist previously or have experience in cosmetics, but you do need to have a passion for cosmetics, a passion for Benefit. So that goes without saying really, but I think passion is definitely a key trait that they would look for when recruiting. Benefit, as mentioned before, a very fun brand. It was set up as a brand when the twin sisters founded them back in '76. they recognised that a lot of the other brands were very serious, they took themselves very seriously, they weren't particularly fun, they weren't approachable to customers. So they really wanted to make Benefit the opposite of that. They observed what the masses were doing, what their competitors were doing, and they did the opposite. So I think the fun and laughter side of it is massively important. They need people to really embody that when they're on the shop floor and when they're doing their job. You have fun. They take the results seriously, but how they get the results is all about having lots of fun. Sales and targets, yeah, they're very target driven. You know, they're massively successful. They've had 2 record-breaking years in the UK, and that's because they've been really focused, laser focused on achieving their goals and their objectives. So they need people to really be hot in terms of being very commercial and very target and KPI focused. Now, when we put the LinkedIn message, it would have said we're looking for 10 area managers, and they're the core positions that I am currently working on. But because of that, that's essentially created 2 new regions within the business, or it will do once the roles are filled. So the regional sales manager job is the level above. So we're also looking for regional managers. That position manages 4 to 5 of the sales development managers. And it's also a more strategic role. It's about relationship building with the department stores on a much more strategic and a senior level. So that particular role is the next level up, really. So they'll be looking, the idea is that I think possibly one of those positions may go internally, but there's more than likely going to be 1 regional manager vacancy once the new incumbent of area managers are in place. And apart from that, the same behaviours really, it's the same traits that we would look for when recruiting the regional manager, just looking for people obviously who are currently operating at a more senior level. So in terms of previous experience, what we're looking for, as mentioned before, cosmetics and beauty experience is not essential, but a passion for that is. What we're looking for really is either a previous background in a multi-site area or field management position. So in retail or an associated industry. So people that have perhaps sold into salons or managed account managers on the wholesale side of things, even hospitality. If you've got that experience managing people in a multi-site setting and you're passionate about the beauty industry, that would be a background that Benefit would consider. Apart from that, we'll also look at people who are perhaps working within one of the department store partners, so perhaps people who are working for a House of Fraser or a Debenhams as a sales manager or a floor manager or a department manager, obviously different job titles that the different businesses use. If you're working perhaps managing the beauty hall in those stores, or even fashion, but you're really passionate about the beauty side, that's an experience that Benefit do really value, because you're used to working with various brands, you're used to liaising with managers and operating at that kind of influential senior level, and you know how things work within the department store setting from the other side. So that background tends to be a good fit. For the regional manager position, again, similar. So I guess people who are working already at either a senior area or district manager level, or currently operating at a regional manager level. Ideally, you would have managed managers at a more senior level if you're working as a regional manager. So again, the department store background, for a regional manager, a good fit might be a deputy manager of, say, a Debenhams or a Hoff, or a store manager of one of those stores could be a good fit for the regional manager position. But more importantly than experience is brand fit. Now, brand fit for Benefit is all about the personality. It's about fitting into their culture and their values, respecting what they respect, enjoying the environment that they enjoy, having that fun way about you, liking to have fun when you're at work, not being too serious or too corporate. A work hard / play hard culture is what they adopt. The benefit area manager roles, the regional roles, the benefit ethos is not a 9-to-5 culture. So you do have to work the hours, really. You know, typically the area manager job requires you to be in store from 9 to 5:30. So you're travelling either side of that day to get in to actually work on the shop floor during those core business hours. So, you know, you have to probably take some calls when you're driving in, checking your emails on your way home. That is the culture they adopt. They get their results by working hard, but you know, that's balanced by having a lot of fun when you are actually working. And going back before about the energy, the passion and the enthusiasm, all of these things encompass the benefit brand fit. And also, I think image is also important. You know, people that do reflect their brand image, who can be an ambassador for the brand on the shop floor is also really quite key for them. So, the next step for those of you who have liked what you've heard and would like to go forward to the next step. Also, I didn't mention before, and what I'm finding it is a key factor. Typically, the field management roles within Benefit, you are expected to work every other Saturday. So normally you would have a day off in the weeks that you're doing a Saturday. But because you're building relationships with your entire team, a lot of the team only do work weekends. So to ensure that you're involved in their development and building that relationship with them, the expectation is that you do work every other Saturday. Typically you'll do a Monday as your administrative day, working from home, and the rest of the week you're out in the field driving your teams forward. So that's a bit of a brief in terms of what the role involves and what we're looking for. The next step is to submit your CV. Some of you already have, which is great, and if I've not been in contact with you, I will be in the next couple of days. So please, if you haven't already done so, follow the link on your screen now to submit your CV to us. I look forward to receiving it. If you feel that actually the role isn't going to be for you, then would also, but you think actually I've got a friend that could be a really good fit for this, it'd be perfect for them, let us know. Drop me an email and put referral fee in the subject heading, and let us know the name and the contact number of the person who you feel would be a good fit. And if that person is successful and they get the job, we'll give you £100. £100 referral fee, subject to an initial qualification period, but you'll get that. So you can recommend us 5 amazing people, if they'll get a job, and that is £500 in your pocket. So, and also, even if you're interested, say you're interested in the area manager position, but your boss would be a fantastic regional manager for them, again, let us know their kind of name and their contact details, and we will put you down as the source, and if they're successful in securing a job, we'll pay you a £100 referral fee. I'll leave that on the screen. People are saying can I leave that on the screen so you can write down the address to send your CV to us. I'll leave that there for a moment. Any questions that you have now, please put them in the chat box, and I'll do my best to answer those for you. Any other questions that you have got that you want to email me privately about, my email address is mattgoddard@rembo.com. That's mattgoddard@rembo.com. But any other questions that you have got, please let me know now before we wrap up. Brilliant. Great, so I look forward to receiving, in fact someone's got a question, bear with me a moment. Good question. The salary, someone's asking, thank you very much for that, is it's up to a maximum, for the area manager positions, up to a maximum of 32,000 per annum as a starting salary, and that comes with an on-target earning of 40,000 with the bonus potential. So the bonus is £8,000 per annum, which is £2,000 a quarter. You also get a company car, private medical insurance, a pension scheme that the company contributes a percentage into, and the usual benefits that you'd expect, like a laptop and phone, and also a product allocation and free products and a discount as well on other products up to a certain amount a year. So many people have emailed me to beg me, email me some questions. That's great. Thank you very much for that. I look forward to your emails. That's it from me. Thank you very, very much for joining today's presentation. I look forward to receiving your CVs and your referrals. But until next time, have a very good day, a very good week, and I'll speak to you again soon. Many thanks.